Welcome and thanks for joining us at EMII.com. I'm Remy Huku for Hedge Fund Headlines. Today's Monday, July 14th, 2008. Hedge funds got off to their worst start in nearly 2 decades in 2008. This according to The Independent. The exception was Man Group, the giant UK alternative asset manager, which posted solid results. As the markets have weakened, hedge fund performance has suffered more than in the wake of the dot-com bust, as managers have had to write down billions or face closure. Pelton Partners, set up by Ron Beller and Jeff Grant, and Sailfish Capital have closed. Private equity giant Carlyle ended its hedge fund business, and Citigroup, in effect, shut Old Lane, the manager it bought less than a year ago. Hedge fund research said the industry index it compiles was the worst in the first 6 months of the year since it began tracking in 1990. The group found that on average, hedge funds declined 0.75% this year, only the second time in 18 years the industry performance has fallen into negative territory. This compares with the first 6 months of 2007, when the industry advanced 7.45%. And in more hedge fund news, Leopard Capital intends to compete for a stake in Akleda Bank plc, the largest Cambodian bank. This according to Bloomberg News. Leopard is also setting up a $100 million private equity fund to invest in the country. Thomas Hugger, executive director at Leopard Capital, said in a Bloomberg interview, quote, "It's the best run bank, it's clean, and it has very good margins." Leopard Capital is vying with other foreign investors that are seeking to invest in Cambodian companies after the economy grew at least 10% in the last 4 years. According to its annual report, Akleda Bank reported a 46% jump in net income to a record $9.7 million in 2007. John Brinston, vice chairman of Akleda Bank, said, declining to give details, quote, "We have a lot of people sniffing around ready to buy into us." Akleda, which plans to be a regional bank, opened its first branch in neighboring Laos in July and also plans to expand in China and Vietnam. And in other hedge fund news, Taylor Wimpey's shares leapt on reports that it will sell off 1/3 of the company to a private equity buyer to boost funds. This according to the Press Association National Newswire. Building Magazine said the struggling home builder is considering this stake sale as an alternative to a £500 million share placing as it looks to shore up its finances. Shares in the group jumped 17%, although sources quoted by the report said a deal could be, quote, months rather than weeks away. The company said last week it had yet to agree on a satisfactory funding package and faces breaching one or more of its banking covenants next year if the market continued to weaken. Taylor Wimpey has cut 900 UK jobs to cope with a significant market downturn. The firm said, quote, "We expect that the UK housing market will remain weak at least through 2008, and we do not anticipate any recovery in the short term." And in more hedge fund news, private equity group Blackstone plans to develop a wind farm off the coast of Germany through a €1 billion investment. This according to Global Insight Daily. The project will see 80 wind turbines constructed in Germany's North Sea territory. Blackstone will team up with other investors that already hold development rights for the project. The project is expected to be completed within 2 years. The investment will be Blackstone's first in the renewable energy sector and demonstrates the growing confidence of investors in such technologies as oil prices continue to climb and as governments seek to encourage the harnessing of domestic energy sources. Offshore wind farms in particular are proving a focus for many European governments. Earlier this week, German Environment Minister Wolfgang Tiefensee said the government was hoping to build up to 30 offshore wind farms to assist in meeting newly established renewable energy targets. And that rounds out today's Hedge Fund Headlines. Thanks for joining us on EMII.com. For more details on these stories and much more, click onto our Hedge Fund channel online and read the full stories and latest developments.